not looking too good.
Oh, boy. Really?
Not so. No, he's fine.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
just saying.
No, I got you. Right on the mark.
You know what?
Right on the mark.
You gotta have a solid case.
Yeah, you know what? You can't just be saying stuff like that.
No.
You know what else? You gotta be careful? Saying the word Christmas. People get a little upset about that too. You gotta say Happy Holidays now.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
I still throw the Christmas around.
Yeah, so do I.
I mean, you know what? But at the same time,
It's an argument I'm willing to have, but I'm not in a bad.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you say Merry Christmas, someone comes back to you with Happy Holidays, just call it a day.
Call it a day.
Agreed. Everyone's happy.
Yep.
You don't need to go all Don Cherry about it.
No.
You don't. Well, Jeff, I don't know what you people think about it.
No.
Okay?
Let's start it.
But us people.
Yeah.
All these people coming in here.
Like right now, have we piqued people's interest? They're like, what are these guys talking
They're like,
about?
what are they doing? Wait
Who
till
are
the
these
New
guys?
Year. No. You know what? We've piqued people's interest in another way.
It's true.
I got a new thing on the side now.
You got something? What do you got?
I'm a consultant. I'm consulting.
Oh, right. You told me about
I
this.
officially consult.
Well, congratulations.
That's what I do.
Is it as cool as it sounds?
Even better.
Really?
Yeah, because you're lying through your teeth.
Yeah.
And you look like you know what you're talking about. It's amazing.
Yeah.
No, you're not lying. Well, we got
you hope you're not lying.
I got a friend of a friend, friends of ours now.
Right.
Met these two beautiful people.
Yeah.
Amazing souls.
I like it.
Okay?
All right.
And I got to tell you, so they came for advice. They said, hey, we're starting a podcast.
Right.
The KK Connection.
Oh, okay.
Cat and Carrot, that's what they're doing.
Nice.
They're starting a podcast.
Welcome to the game.
Welcome to the world. Welcome
Yeah.
to the game, right?
Yeah.
No, they started a podcast. They said, look, you're not going to get anything out of Mitch.
Yeah, no.
There's no point. You're going to get it out of me, right?
Nothing.
The only thing you get out of Mitch is organization, funding, professionalism.
right.
The list goes on.
Yeah. But outside of that, you go straight to the Crowless.
Yeah, no, they're starting a new podcast. They're just working out the kinks, and they came for advice. Look, it's difficult, right? We know how it is.
Yeah,
it's a grind. So it was really nice. But yeah,
good.
Just giving them some pointers, things that we've done, things we wish we could have done.
But the fact that you're consulting shows me one thing.
What's that?
People are listening.
Right
there it is.
Right. It was a referral.
Exactly.
I didn't go out to consult.
No.
I became the consultor, but I'm not a registered consultee.
I like it.
You right?
I like it. Exactly. Well, let's just get down to it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to Jeff and yourself.
Yes.
How was it? How was the time off?
Christmas was amazing. You know what? It was really quiet. It's like I said, it's been a busy time, like it is for everybody. And yeah, it was just nice and quiet. It was just right. I've evolved. I asked for the underwear, socks, shirts, and ties. And I got it. So check mark complete. It was great. How about you? First Christmas with the little one.
You know what? First Christmas with the little guy, and it's awesome. He literally didn't know any difference. So outside of that, but Jeff, to your point, I like the idea of the photography thing. So we took a lot of pictures, did all that stuff, and
Cool.
And that's about it. Just chilled. That's the best part. Jeff, yourself?
I went to Winnipeg and had adventures at Christmas. It was had a great time. Spent some wonderful time with my family. Had some great meals and some great fellowship, and met a whole bunch of people I haven't seen in 37 years that I went to junior high school with. Drank a bunch of tequila with them.
Nice.
Played hockey. So I'm a little worse for wear, to be honest. It wasn't quite as quiet as your Christmas. I'm bruised and hungover.
That's okay.
Well, I think you win. I think you win.
I gotta ask the question because I've also not recently, but I've ran into the elementary friends. I mean, you got your high school friends, but elementary, there's a special bond there.
Yeah, that's a long
question. 37 years.
Yeah,
was the bond still there, Jeff?
Oh hell, it was great to see everyone. I gotta admit that. At one point, I was walking around the party just asking people's names because we had all changed so much that I couldn't recognize some people, right?
Well, yeah. Oh, I bet.
So, like
little Johnny isn't so little,
Paul
is he?
and Bob Stafford were there that I went to Queenston Elementary School with.
Bobby.
And hadn't seen them since junior high either. And, everyone's like balding or white or,
Sure.
we've all aged considerably.
That is unreal.
It was
you know
great.
what? Then there's the people that don't change at all.
That's right.
They
Yeah.
look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like your head is the same size.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I think I
everything's-
messed them up a little bit because I never had a blue beard in high school.
True. That was junior high.
Yeah, that was junior high, yeah.
Your junior high friends like, hey, it's Jeff.
Unreal. But there you go. But it's coming, it's gone. It's
Yeah, man.
It's
Said
in and
it's
it's
done.
up.
This year's done.
Yeah,
It's done.
and then we
Year's
got
done.
New Year's in a
Tomorrow,
couple days.
less than
and
24 hours, man.
Jeff, what do you got on the dog? Well, wait,
I got
you
stuff on the go.
Tell the people. What do I mean? I know what Jeff's got.
I'm getting my hand back in the game. I
Unbelievable.
got my bass going, and I'm going to be joining an old friend of mine again that I grew up all through the 80s with playing music. And we're going to be playing at a fine Canadian institution where people respect each other and know how to party, and the drinks are cheap. The Bowness Legion.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's going to be a good time.
If I'm bored, I might drop by. You know,
should, yeah,
Little
it's-
guy's going to bed early, I feel, and I'm going to drop by.
Don't
I'm gonna
spend
by
New
and see
Year's
what-
at home. Just don't do it.
No.
Don't do
Come
it.
on. Get out
We
of
got
here.
nothing to do. That's
Got
what
nothing
I'm
to do.
doing. I found some steaks and lobster claws on sale at Sobeys. Premium quality. Just spending it in. I don't know.
I like it. Let's do it.
Well,
Listen, let's get right down dirty because 107 and we only have 1 hour to play with. So, hey,
I know.
What do we got on the itinerary today?
Well, you know what? Usually I like to tee it off. Let's just address the juggernaut in the room, if you will. Look,
Right.
the NFL season has come to an official close.
It's true.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, it's my nightmare has occurred. It's over. I am so worried come February 1st. Mind you, XFL's around the corner, but I still don't know about it.
I got high hopes.
We got NHL Dump and Chase.
Yes.
We got a quick little NBA segment.
just a pass.
Just a little touch. What else we got? We got a little rapid banter.
It's got to be on there.
It's got to be there. Got a Maga Malaka.
We got the Wraaslin Roundup.
And we might have a little quick pick six because it's, we got some things we got to talk about.
By popular demand.
It really is.
And a new segment
Yeah.
that I want to introduce. That
Right.
I'm just going to tee it up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go deep into it.
Sure.
But I just wanted to let the roster sizzle on it for a
I like
second.
it. I like what you're doing there. And then we got to give you the winners. The RLRT pools and fantasy have been determined. Wait until you find out what happened.
It's unbelievable. I don't know to be happy. I really don't know to be sad.
Should we just jump right into this?
See, and I know
One
you.
thing, isn't there?
Yeah, Jeff, there is one thing. And I think I need you to cue that music because before we get into anything, Mitch, you know better than I do that we got to give you the Headversity metrics of the week. That's right. To reiterate, Headversity.com, the leader in mental health and tackling the stigma in the corporate world and in the personal world. They got a beautiful app that's out on iTunes and, of course, Google Play. The Headversity app. So again, Headversity.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Get the profile. It's a beautiful thing. When we talk about metrics, I'm just going to throw a number out there, and that number is 2.
What's that?
That's how many new downloads we have right now, as of today, after I did the consult.
Oh, right.
After the big
Yeah,
consult.
thanks.
Yeah. So there you go. Boom. 2.
2.
Hey, sometimes you can do social media, you can do the marketing, but you got to have boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Hit
Sales.
the pavement.
That's your thing.
Ear to the grindstone.
You're so good at it.
Okay, and it works.
That's
it's
it.
tried, tested, and true. But you'd think that's all we need. Well, maybe, but maybe not, because we also are getting downloads from a beautiful place. And Mitch, be so kind as to cue your music. And that's right, it's agapegreekradio.com, AGAPE GreekRadio.com, where you get to stream us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, anywhere in the world, where we've been moved to our new time by popular demand by the people, the 12 to 1 spot Eastern time during lunch. It is fantastic. That's 10 a.m. Western or Mountain for us over here. So we're very thankful, Stan the man and the entire team at Agape Greek Radio. And look, we're gonna give you the 411, but look, the fashion show was a huge success.
Huge.
So much so that they're doing it again next year, of course. But they got a couple of other events that are planned, one of which will be happening in
Right.
Calgary.
Yeah.
Details to follow.
I couldn't believe when you know what? That's how popular we are here. That they are basically telling us, hey, we're throwing up, we do the sports podcast.
We couldn't go, so they're bringing it to
Antonia
us.
does the music stuff, and
That's
they're like,
right.
you know what? These sports guys know how to party. We don't care. We're bringing the party to them.
That's right. That's right.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, listen, there's another thing I got to talk about. January 25th, the Calgary Greek Hellenic community is putting on their 12th annual poker tournament. It's going to be spectacular.
Wow.
I got a meeting to go to later on this week to find out all the prizes, all the buy-ins, all the good stuff. But it's $250. Prime rib dinner, cards are dropped, prizes, food for later, and guess what? A tax receipt.
A tax receipt.
What else do you want?
You're basically showing up for the paying
So if
you.
you came last year, guess what? When you do the taxes in a couple of months, you're going to get a write-off because you came last year. So come this year so you get it for next year.
Plan ahead, people.
Plan ahead.
You're getting paid to eat prime rib.
You can't go wrong with it.
I don't even see how someone does go wrong.
Listen, and I brought it up last week, and I'll bring it up one more time. Roster, come to the event. It's going to be fantastic. In fact, if there's at least 10 of us, let's get it together. I'll talk to some people. I know 1 or 2 people over there. We're going to put together a team. At least we'll start the tables together. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. And you can't really go wrong with it.
No,
what do you think?
don't.
You're coming.
Pencil me in. No, of course I'm coming. Look, man, it's one of the few things where I have no problems paying money to lose.
Right.
I'm still coming out as a winner. Everybody is. No, they put on a great thing. They got it figured out. It is a fantastic time.
Right.
Yeah. It's unreal.
Let's get right into it because Stan and Jeff have made us. You know what? They've made us good at this whole 1 hour thing. I think we're really getting good at it.
They really have. You know what?
Jeff, what do you think? We're not bad, right?
You guys are coming along. Yeah, you're coming along.
That's a compliment.
Let's do it. Let's take it. Let's start with a little NHL. It's our favorite segment to start it off. The little appetizer before the main course.
Yeah.
And soon it's going to be the main course because I don't want to talk about it. It still hurts me a little bit. But it's the NHL. Do you realize that we are at the halfway point of the NHL season?
Where did it go?
Where did it go?
Where did it go?
I want to play something. I thought about this song and I want to do it. This is what I feel like the NHL is right now. This is it. This is it. And in fact, one of my favorite songs of all time, I might have.
You know what? It's a really great song.
Yeah. There it is. I know Carolina George loves this right now.
Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa! And you don't want to come to the Legion roster?
Exactly.
You don't want to come to the Legion?
We just set up the whole thing right there. There it is. Done. Listen, NHL season is halfway done. Let's go through the teams right now. Who's leading? Who's not leading? What's going on? What's not going on? We'll start in the East. It's the Washington Capitals. They're leading the Metro Division along with, and who's underneath them? It's the Islanders and the Pens. You got the Boston Bruins leading in the Atlantic with the Maple Leafs and the Panthers. Those good old Maple Leafs.
The Maple Leafs.
I guess they did need to fire the guy.
I'm just saying.
You said it.
When you're right, you're right.
And then the 2 creepers that are looking in, like that guy in the middle of the night.
And not Mitch and Dimitri.
It's not us. It's Philadelphia and the Hurricanes that are creeping in the Eastern Division, and they're looking in. Let's jump over to the West. It's the Blues. They're not done. You know, they might have came out of nowhere last year to win the Stanley Cup, but they're saying, hey, this year we'll do it right. We'll stay at the top as long as we can. So it's St. Louis at the top of the Central Division, along with the Avalanche and Dallas. Johnny Hockey's team is sticking in there. They're sticking in there.
When he's got the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, he does.
In the East.
In the
East. He's on to
Johnny
something.
Hockey. And by the way, P.S., if Johnny Hockey is a nut, he was on the local radio station ripping it up. So not only is he taking our jobs, he's taking other people's jobs.
It's unbelievable.
Johnny,
it was a matter of time.
Chill out, Johnny. Chill out. All right? Well, just a little. Just relax a little bit. You're going to get there. It's not a big deal.
You know, don't do what most people do when they get famous at your age and buy the expensive vape.
It's true.
Don't get into the expensive
and I hope that your family does know, and your dad especially, that how much you do vape. And we know. I don't want to get you in trouble or anything and get you locked in your room or anything, but it's a serious thing. You know, vaping is big. So from there we go to the Pacific Division, and this is the division that has truly changed. You got the Las Vegas Knights somehow, someway leading this division, along with the Van City. The Vancouver Canucks are second in the Pacific, and the Coyotes are now third. Who's creeping in? It's the other 2 little Canadian teams. It's the Jets and the Flames, who last year were terrorizing, but now they're creeping in. Dimitri, my question is simple. Which teams are you proud of at this halfway point? Who are you disappointed in?
Look, the teams that I'm proud of are the Philadelphia Flyers and the Vancouver Canucks for making me look smart right about this point.
It takes a lot to do that.
Okay?
Yes.
They're making me look really good. As you know, roster, I picked them for my dark horse, respectively, in each conference, and it's paying its dividends right now. But like they're playing really good. They're playing good enough for the caliber team they are. Look, the team that's disappointing me, I'm going to the East.
Yeah.
And I'm going to a team that has no spark.
Yeah.
Contrary to the logo, it's a Tampa Bay Lightning. And what? I'm sorry. I can't protect you anymore.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, I come in here and I say, don't worry, they got the team, they got the this, no, it's time to worry.
Time to worry.
It's time to worry.
Yeah.
Pick up your socks. I am not talking about you guys ever again if you're not in the playoffs. From now on, Mitch, if Tampa Bay is out of a playoff spot, they are no longer welcome to have airtime on this podcast.
Whoa.
That's how disgusted I am.
He's putting his foot down.
That's how disgusted I am.
You know what? I agree with. I'll agree with your Tampa Bay pick. I am really surprised and disappointed with them in the East, only because of how well they did last year. But I feel like they're trying to sneak in and they're trying to trick people, but no one's falling for the joke and no one's letting them in. I mean, they're the kind of team that if they do get in late and they get the 7 or 8 seed or one of the wild cards or whatever you want to call it, yeah, maybe they will make some noise, but you know what? There's no guarantees. So they got to start making a move sooner than later. And with all due respect, they haven't done it all year. So I don't think that they are as strong or as let's call it what it is. We're giving them too much credit. We've given them too much credit.
Yeah.
The teams in the East that I'm proud of, I got to give it to them. Year in and year out, you got to give respect to the Boston Bruins and to the Washington Capitals.
Oh, man.
I keep saying to myself, Ovechkin is 1 year older. Chara is 1 year older. These guys are going to falter. They're going to fall. No. Not only are they not faltering, they're leading their teams. Bergeron, the Merchants, Tom Wilson. Like, how are they doing it? They're doing it with great systems in place, good teams. I got a lot of respect for the Eastern teams that are leading. In the West, listen, the team that I got to give a lot of credit to, it's the Las Vegas Knights. Because they've been fluttering, and I was hoping this actually happened to them, where they came out like gangbusters. No one took them for real. They ended up going to the Stanley Cup. Last year, took them a little more serious, still powered their way through into the playoffs. This year, they start off a little slow, more like normal teams do. They're now fluttering a bit, and now they found their stride again. Watch out for the Las Vegas Knights. I think they're starting to catch their stride, and that's trouble for everyone in the West.
Absolutely.
And then the other team in the West that I'm a little disappointed in, it's you, Oilers. What happened? You were doing fine. You were winning. Neil was on a rampage. The Luch did nothing. Luch scores 3. You guys have now fallen not out of top place. You guys aren't even in the wild card. What's going on with you guys?
How does that happen?
I don't know.
They came down with the clap. All of them.
I am upset.
I'd be upset too. This is so Edmonton Oilers, isn't it?
So true.
They are the Maple Leafs of the West when it comes to Canadian teams. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
we got to talk about them. They get all the press. They get all the this. Oh, they're back. Which, let's face it, Draisaitl and McDavid, even in this losing spell, are still clicking. It's not like they're playing terrible, but it goes to show you can have the players. You got to have the team. You got to be solid. You can't tell me right now that you pit this against any one of those teams that you just said, Vegas, Washington, St. Louis,
right,
and Boston. You can't tell me that they beat any of these teams, or if anyone truly believes it. That's what it's going to take. They need to figure something out quick. Need to figure something out quick, because the variance in terms of the teams now coming down this stretch in the second half is not as big as it is in the first half. Now these teams have figured themselves out. They've had time to, and a couple teams are going to get better when the trading happens in free agency or the deadline. Sorry. I'm thoroughly disappointed. I will add that one team that I really like are the St. Louis Blues as well.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a team that comes from last as of January 3rd, right around this time.
Yeah,
I think it was January 3rd last year. They were dead last in the league, and they come in, they win the Stanley Cup. So you say, okay, you had the motivation behind you. But if you look right now, they're tied for the least amount of losses in the league with only 8 losses.
Yeah.
I mean, they are making a real statement.
Absolutely.
So
agreed. I love it.
I could see. I know it's early, but St. Louis, Washington. In my opinion, it's up to one of these two teams to win the cup.
We said it in previous podcasts, and I think this is what Tampa Bay is trying to do in a weird way.
I'm still keeping the Knights. I'm still keeping the Knights.
Yeah, you are.
As the
a lot of people are thinking, "Oh, look at what St. Louis did last year. We're going to do the same thing." No, what happened last year was an anomaly. It's never going to happen again.
But they had the team. They had the team too, right?
I mean, being dead last, and then getting into the playoffs and then winning it all. I mean, it's not going to happen again. It was an anomaly the first time. It's not going to, but I think a lot of teams believe they can do the same, and that's not what you got to do.
The difference between St. Louis and the other teams, I equate it to Monopoly. It's like having pieces on the Monopoly board where you got your houses and hotels, but for God's sakes, no one's landing on them.
That's true.
And you're the guy that's always landing on Pennsylvania,
exactly.
Ventnor.
That one's expensive.
You get a hotel on Pennsylvania. I mean, come on. The greens are pound for pound the best. They're not quite at the Boardwalk Park place.
Right.
And it's that danger corner. I'm telling you, if you can control like Atlantic, like the yellow pieces and the green pieces, you win Monopoly.
Yeah.
You win.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah. I got to say, bang for the buck, the oranges. They're easy to get into.
Oh, he's St. James.
They're your starter property.
They're your starter
That's
property.
a good starter.
You got to start off heavy. Who are you, Donald Trump? Of course, you got to start small.
Look, excellent resale value. They're right by free parking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's right by free parking.
It's really
you can't go wrong with that.
It's really easy to build a hotel.
No one wants those properties by the go to jail. No one wants those ones. Yeah, you don't want that.
The land's just not fertile.
It's not there.
It's not a fertile soil.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's not. But anyways, they're that team where finally, people started landing on, on their hotels and they cashed in. Not everyone can do that, Mitch. You're right.
True.
And people should not think that way.
Exactly. Dump and chase. Listen, December 26th, around the world, it's the World Junior Hockey. This is a big thing here in Canada, especially. We love watching the juniors going out there and usually kicking some butt. But in previous podcasts, we mentioned the world's taking notice, and they don't like Canada so much. Why? Well, because we beat them up pretty badly, and now that their talent level has risen to what we are, we seem to be, right in the middle. It's a very, very competitive hockey tournament that's going on over in the Czech Republic right now. Dimitri, this is what I want to bring up to you quickly. As I'm watching this tournament go on, that bigger ice surface has convinced me once again. Now, granted, these kids are a little smaller than your typical NHL players, but isn't it time for the NHL to really maybe look at the opportunity of making a bigger ice surface, because the better hockey players are just automatically going to come out?
The old school, I want to say no. I'm majority no, just because I like the small, really tough, gritty, physical play with the smaller size rink, especially when it comes playoff time. Playoffs I just don't want to mess with it. However, on the other side of the coin, the way that hockey seems to be going slowly, it's very much appreciating the skill more than that old school, old timer type hockey. And the players, if you like the fourth line guy, for example,
right
now a fourth line guy's got to be a person who can play the game.
That's right.
They're not just the George Larocques and those big guys that could George Peros and the guys that could barely skate, but they could fight, protect, and eat up 5-6 minutes. You got to have some skills. So the game would suggest it's probably better to have that bigger ice surface, but I don't know. It comes down to just playoff hockey for me, Mitch. I like it the way it is, and I think people like playoff hockey to be the one time where we get to see real hockey the way it's meant to be played at an exciting level.
My 2 cents on this is I do hope they start looking at it. Now, they can't just automatically move all the arenas basically have this ice. You make the ice bigger, you're taking away seats, which is revenue. I get it, but it's like anything else, all right? Take yourself out of hockey for a second. It's about product. The product that the NHL is up against, their number one competitors, NFL, you're not going to ever touch them. It just isn't what it is. Baseball, NBA, and you guys. My opinion, baseball, you know what? Watch in a couple years, baseball, the most traditional sport of all time, they're going to go to a time clock. They got to. They can't be playing 10-hour games. They just can't. They just can't anymore. They got to do something there. Something will happen there. The strike zones, all that. NBA, they had to move the three-point shot. Not recently, but they did a couple of years ago. They had to move it back a little bit. I'm not saying to, like, on one end, my ask of the NHL is quite large. I understand that. But, man, when I watch these kids flying around, and then I think of a McKinnon or a Crosby or an Ovechkin flying around on that ice, dude, I keep saying to myself, that is the product that the people need to see. The smaller ice, throw in, so you got 5-on-5, right? You got, players, the goalies, then 4 referees, basically, 2 linesmen each and 2 referees. It's a lot of people on that ice, Rumble. Man. It is. It's a Royal Rumble on ice. So I would love it, man. I think it would be the greatest thing. And one last thing, why do you think we all get so excited when we watch Olympic hockey? It's not just our countries playing, it's better quality hockey.
So you touched on that point. I think had this whole thing with the NHL players not going to the Olympics not been such a thing where now we probably won't get to see it again.
Yeah.
The talks would be very minimal. Now it is more of a real thing because people want to see that product on the bigger. Look, I love Olympic. It is very. I'm not the type of person to sit here and say if they change the rink, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's, why change it? But I don't think it'll hurt the game. Actually, if anything, you bring up a good point. When you're stacked up for market share against these huge juggernauts of sports in the American market, it might make sense, but
I would love to see it. It's just a thought. Again, I was watching and I'm like, man, this hockey is so much better. And the truth of it, as talented as those kids are, they're obviously nowhere near the caliber of the NHL player. So take the NHL caliber hockey player, put them on that ice. To me, it's a no-brainer.
Win-win.
All right. From there, last one. It's the decade question. Here we are. 2020 is literally hours away. Who was the best player in the NHL in the past 10 years? 2010 to 2020, best NHLer.
Outside the Luch.
Outside the Luch, yeah. That one's an automatic, so I'd like you to stay away from that one for a second.
Look, to me, there's no debate. It's a boy, a man, if you will, by the name of Sidney Crosby. Look, when I look at it and you say, first of all, it's no secret that this guy for the past while has been the best player in the league. He's extremely talented. And let's not forget that part of it is he did miss some time in this last decade that stopped him from reaching even more success. But we're looking at a 3-time Stanley Cup champion in one decade. And especially in this era where it's very hard to do. Now, he did win the first Stanley Cup in that 2009-10 season, right? So, I mean, really depends where you want to gauge it. But for me, to argue my point better, I'm including it in.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to bring it in. But, I got to go. It's, it's a Mr. Sidney Crosby, 3-time champ, multiple titles. Golden goal in the Olympics I believe it was the 2014 Olympics. Vancouver was 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Ooh, got under the wire.
So, in that year he wins the Stanley Cup, scores the golden goal for the Olympics. 2 more cups. I don't know, Mitch.
Yeah, you might have convinced me.
It's not a debate here.
You might have convinced me.
And I'm missing a lot.
But I'm going, absolutely. Listen, he is the Maga of all Magas when it comes to
Tim Hortons commercial,
in the last
Reebok
10 years,
sponsorship.
Though, you know what? How about this? I'll give it to you for the first 5-6 years. Crosby had it so far ahead. No, he slowed down a little bit. But the guy that caught up to him and maybe passed him right at the finish line, it's my boy Ovi.
No,
my boy Ovechkin.
Mitch.
This one goes up to my boy, my brother-in-law Stavros. Yeah, it's Ovi. Listen, he won that Stanley Cup he was so desperately needing.
Yeah.
He never had a stacked team, and with all due respect, Pittsburgh. What? Compared to having
Washington never had a stacked team.
He had Malkin this whole time on his team. I didn't realize it.
What about Backstrom?
He had the castle. He had everything. Listen, all I'm saying is this, and maybe I'm partial because of how he's partied, and I really enjoy the partying part of Ovechkin.
Get out of here, Mitch.
I'm going with Ovechkin. It's not. It's a question that the roster can sit there and argue about tomorrow.
How is this
on New Year's Eve?
Why would we even let them argue about something so silly? It's Crosby.
It's not. It really isn't.
Crosby.
No. Let's go. Off to the NBA. I said it a second ago. It's about the product. You know who did it right? We said it on the podcast. The NBA did it right. Christmas Day, 5 games in a row, one after the other. And I gotta be honest, I was glued to it with my family. We were just watching, having a good time, yelling at the TV.
Quality basketball.
But I'm just going to say so. I can admit when I'm wrong, but I'm also going to say when I'm right. I told you guys once, and I'll say it again. Prime time. Kawhi versus LeBron. And there was no contest. And if you could see me right now, I'm just doing my hands back and forth. No contest. Kawhi Leonard dominated the game. In fact, to the point where when he's playing top quality athletes, like LeBron, like Giannis, whoever, Kawhi comes through. And once again, if I have to go two-time on this rant, it's this. Load management works. Done. End of the conversation. I want to jump over to Giannis for one quick second. You know we're two Greek guys. We love our Giannis.
Yeah.
But Giannis, I got to be honest with you. I'm a little upset because I lost a little juice. I put a little bit of money on you and the boys to crush Philadelphia. Puisuna. What happened that night? Where were you? Did you have midnight mass? Were you out too late? Be honest with me. What happened? I'll give you the accolades when
he
you
was
talk.
out doing calendar.
He was out doing calendar. You
calendar.
never do the calendar before the game day. Everyone knows that, Yanni.
Kalini Merana.
No, it was awesome. No, but don't worry. I got it back with Kawhi. So, Yanni, you're forgiven in my books. You're still a Maga. Done.
Fair enough.
Listen. We're exactly where I want it to be.
Right, you did. You said it. You're like, if we're at that 30-minute mark,
right?
You know,
we gotta stay here for a second.
Okay, let's go. I'm wasting
it's
time.
Over. It's over.
Don't say that.
Week 17 has come and gone.
Baby, give me a chance.
Wait, there's something in my eye.
Jeff, is there
you ever
dust?
dust in this place? Or
Oh,
like
smokes, Jeff.
Dude, how is it that it comes into our lives so quickly?
You know, this is like...
And gone. Just like that.
This is like one of those, you know, your best friend that just comes back during the summers and they got to go.
Yeah.
You think it's going to last forever. They come at the end of June, at the end of the school year. You got all of July.
Yep.
August, you know, time's running out, but you don't believe it.
You don't. Yeah.
And then Labor Day comes, and they got to go back.
And then you realize your mom's going, you have to go to bed now. And she's like, wait. You're like, she hasn't said that
changes.
to me for months.
That's what's happened here.
That's exactly
what's happening. The NFL's in.
It's in.
And it's slowly out.
Week 17 is over, which means the end of the NFL regular season has now come to a close. It was there were scenarios that needed to happen this weekend. All of them fruitioned into just craziness. All I ask as an NFL fan is this. Give us one more game. San Francisco, Seattle, please. NFL, do us a favor. Somehow get them to play one more time. Another epic battle. New England needed to win to get themselves a bye, which is basically normal for them. They lost to my maybe choice for MVP, Fitzmagic. The Miami Dolphins pulled off a miracle win again on the last game of the season. Again, the cocaine Dolphins.
They upped the purity.
Quick thing. Have you noticed who's magic? They say that Santa's magic.
Right.
Fitz magic looks a lot like who?
No.
Do you think?
No.
Like,
is he?
Do you?
Was he?
Doesn't make any
sense.
Could he? Basically.
He is.
Maybe he is.
Son of a gun.
He should get third voting for that. And finally, I want to say this because we're going to talk about the playoff format in a second. For the first time ever, I'm going to give you this. Lamar Jackson, you're a Maga. I'll give it to you. Fine. Baltimore, number 1 seed in the AFC. And he's probably going to win the MVP. But in all honesty, after watching again what Russell did yesterday, I think this is one of the first times ever. I don't think it's ever been done. Maybe it has been. Co-MVPs. Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson should be sharing this year's NFL MVP award. What say you?
Look, it's either that or you get the two of them to duke it out in Olympic-style wrestling.
Ooh, I like that too.
Okay, Olympic point structure.
I like
Greco-Roman rules.
Yeah.
Right? Or you know what? Freestyle. Open up the doors.
Yeah, open up the doors.
They are athletes.
Yeah, they are.
All.
Yeah, they're both flexible.
Look, Lamar Jackson's going to get it. I think I'd be surprised if he does it. But here's the thing. You're right. The problem with Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson in the sense that he never gets the press time and the sexiness that the other teams will get. Because what happens is...
You're saying West Coast bias?
Partially. I think it has to do more with how Seattle wins games. Mm-hmm. And how close they can become.
Sure. Okay.
Lamar Jackson, number one, Baltimore was blowing people out of the water, and he was playing impressive.
True.
But you're right. You look at Russell Wilson when you think MVP. Think about what he's got. After all, this is this is a most valuable player to your team.
That's right.
So there is a relativity. It's I don't know. For me, it's tough. I'm not trying to take anything away from Al Jackson over here because God knows he does deserve it. But yeah, I don't know. He won't get the talk time, Russell Wilson. I mean, like some of the other quarterbacks because of the fashion that their teams win games. I would say the same thing for any quarterback that plays in Minnesota, for example.
Sure.
Right? Just those types of teams, they're not, no one's really...
I hear where you're going. I hear it. I got to still say, like, with Russell and the arsenal that he has around him, and look, Lamar was just fun to watch. End of the conversation. He's going to win it because the fans and the players amongst him were like, wow. When an NFL guy that's trying to defend you is going, wow, you just ran by me and I couldn't even move. That's why he's going to win.
When guys are going to the old timers,
right,
i.e. Michael Vick,
sure,
and saying, hey, how do you stop this guy?
Right. Exactly. I just think Russell Wilson, man, that's a leader. That's what kind of quarterback I like. And, man, he yesterday was playing with no running backs, basically. He was making it happen. I don't know. I like Russell. We'll get to it in a second. Let's start with the playoff format.
Yeah.
Here are your playoff scenario. We'll start in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens are the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is the team that's getting a little bit quiet, but they're starting to get loud again. It's the Kansas City Chiefs at the number 2 spot. So these two teams get their buys. Who's playing this weekend? Here we go. It's the New England Patriots. They've gotten the number 3 seed. They're going to take on the number 6 seed, the Tennessee Titans. I think is going to be an epic battle. And in the 4th seed, it's the Houston Texans taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'm not as excited about that game as I am the New England and Tennessee game. Dimitri, let's dive right into the AFC right now.
Love it.
Let's do it. It's New England versus Tennessee. What do you like in that game?
I'll tell you what, my bank account is going to say a big thank you to me for putting the money on the Tennessee Titans. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the upset of upsets in this first round. Look, I don't believe that they can weather the storm that's happening to them right now. And again, I'm the guy. It goes back to Tampa Bay, what I talked about earlier. Now New England. I've never been worried about these teams, but what I am worried about is the first round of the playoffs. Okay, here's a team where you watch New England Patriots last week. They showed, I remember watching on TV, they showed a clip about after the game when they won, and Belichick was saying, look, congrats, yeah, we did good, made the playoffs, everything's good. And Belichick goes, next week against Miami, it's a playoff game, we have to treat it as such. So this is a team that was prepared to go in knowing that for their team, they need that bye.
Yeah.
They need the bye, and they couldn't pull the trigger against the Dolphins.
I know.
Now, I'm not trying to say that because Tennessee is better than Miami, therefore Miami should be because New England lost to them. No, I'm not trying to run that scenario. What I am trying is, guys, Tennessee is still a tough team to watch, and it doesn't take much to beat the Patriots this year.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say this. My brother said this to me a couple weeks ago. He goes, sometimes Vegas will give you a gift. Not very often, but they'll sometimes give it to you. In this particular case, believe it or not, New England is favored at 4.5 points in this game at home. I believe if you're Tennessee and you can get 4.5 points or just straight up money line, I agree with you. This is where it's simple as this. New England has lost their luster with regards to their offense. Okay, they're lucky that the first 9 games, 10 games of the season, they had a lackluster, schedule where they went 9-0. Since then, they really haven't won a lot of games. In fact, it's been mediocre, lucky at best.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the hotter team. I am going with Tennessee. I'm with you. I'm taking the points. I hate doing it because I know I'm going to bite my tongue next week. I just don't know why. I just feel like we know what's going to happen.
I'm almost too confident on as bad as it sounds.
No, that's a good thing. Let's go to Houston and the Bills. This game's intriguing to some point. Not as sexy as the New England, Tennessee, but what do you like in the Houston Bills game?
I'll tell you what I like overall is I think this is going to be a great football game to watch. These two teams are really going to slug it out. But I got to be honest, I'm liking the Buffalo Bills.
Really?
I think that the defense wins this game for them.
Yeah.
And if they can just have the discipline to play Buffalo Bills football and not try to overdo it because it's the playoffs, I think you could see a team like this win.
Yeah.
And I love my Houston. You know that.
I know. As much as I like defense, and I say, well, the saying goes, defense wins championships, I would actually go Houston here, especially if all 3 wide receivers are healthy and ready to go. Houston has a very talented offensive team because at the end of the day, yeah, their defense isn't as good as Buffalo's, but you need to score some points. And Buffalo's having a hard time scoring points. And that's really the only reason I like Houston a little bit more here. Let's jump to the NFC. The number 1 seed, it's your San Francisco 49ers. The number 2 seed, I don't want to say we said it, but we said it.
Hey.
It's the Green Bay Packers. We're not biased, we're biased. That's the way we do.
Yeah, they were number 1 at one point.
They were.
Had Seattle won the game.
I was a little disappointed how they played, but we'll leave that for next week when they decide to kick the crap out of somebody. It's the number 3 seed, the New Orleans Saints, that are going to take on the Minnesota Purple team. And in the other game, it's the Philadelphia Eagles hosting probably the greatest number 5 seed of all time. It's the Seattle Seahawks at, 12-4. So, what do you like? Let's start with let's start with New Orleans, Minnesota. What do you like in that game?
I think NFL, I got to say, you do it.
Somehow.
You find ways to get these rivalries to come back and meet them somewhere. Look, let me tell you what you don't do, okay? You don't bring the world champion in. You don't screw him over, okay? You don't do any of that stuff. This reminds me of the time when, the Macho Man got screwed over by Sensational Sherry.
Right.
And, it was just a bad scene, but you got to come back, and you come back with a vengeance, okay? This is what happens here. Look, the New Orleans Saints are going to run wild over the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be a good football game.
I like what you did there.
But do you see what I did? You see? You got to pick up. They are, and especially this game, because here's the thing. The Saints have that defense has been very, very suspect for me the last 3-4 weeks where you're like, what's happening? But this is a big vendetta game for them. You got to remember, this is the team that stopped them from winning the Super Bowl.
Yes,
okay?
Exactly.
And they're pissed off at the Rams. They're pissed off at the Vikings. They are pissed off at these 2 teams that they look day in, day out and say, my God, had we not been screwed over by the most ridiculous plays, we're a winner. I think it's not even going to be, I don't want to say not a close game, but I just think that the Saints are going to shine.
I'm with you on this one. I think New Orleans, very simply, and it has nothing to do, I'm going to put my bias to the purple team to the side. You guys just got a bad card dealt to you. New Orleans, you said it perfectly. They're on a vendetta. They're mad. They have a lot to play for. They're at home. Hard to touch. Let's jump to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's talk about Seattle Seahawks. It's in Philly. The line on this game is 1.5. I don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you this. My rule is this. I've said it about baseball, basketball, football, especially when it comes to the playoffs. I always go with the hot team. Philly's been playing playoff football for about a month now. So a piece of me wants to say, I got to roll with Philly. But this is the big problem. Philly is very injured. Yesterday, they put the boots to the Giants. Who cares? When they have to win, they somehow win. I can't go against Philly right now. I will leave you with this little cliffhanger. I'm not saying Philly, and I'm not saying I'm going to take Seattle. I'm saying I need to see what the rest of the week holds. But I'm leaning a little bit more towards Philly. And I don't understand how I'm doing that.
I don't disagree with you. I actually love Philadelphia in this game. Look, Seattle is on top of it. We're giving Russell Wilson the praise where, the Seahawks are a very difficult team to play with. And let's face it, had they not been plagued to be in such an amazing division, where they got to battle a team like the 49ers all the time, for crying out loud. I mean, this is a number 1 team in a way. So, like I said, they're 12-4 for crying out loud, you guys. This is not chump change.
And earlier, sort of cut you off, Seattle went to Philly earlier this year and beat them at home.
Yeah, look, I just think that it's Philly. I just think Philly's going to win this game. I think they're going to pull a game out of their butt. I think Seattle's going to bring the best out of them.
Yeah.
And some tells me that the Philadelphia Eagles are just one of those teams where if you just get them in the playoffs, they'll at least try to compete.
I'm going to throw this one last piece. Try to get Foles. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how you're going to do it. Just try to get them.
I told you. I told you, if you
Postseason
want
trade.
a Super Bowl, get Foles back.
Postseason, exactly.
Idiots.
All right, from there we go to RLRT. Fantasy Championship happened. Let's go through it. We don't have all the time in the world. We apologize. We will talk about it a little bit more next week. But here we go. In third place, it was the Absolute Unit taking on Timo Time.
And what time was it?
And what time was it? It was Timo time.
It was Timo time.
Timo destroys, wins third place. Congratulations to you, Timo. In the finals, in the championship round, it was Chupalo, the other twin, taking on
Our guy.
Get Your Popcorn Travis.
Out of the playoff guy.
And it's as though I pushed it. I didn't even set it up this way. What did I just say? You gotta take the hot hand. Travis barely gets into the playoffs. Travis goes on a run. Ladies and gentlemen, Get Your Popcorn Travis is the first ever RLRT
Unbelievable.
fantasy champion.
Look, all I want to say is two things. Number one, maybe the Timo should rethink and try to get a third brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 2 out of 3 in the big dance. Yeah, 2 out of 3, boys.
2 out of 3.
How'd you mess it up?
I don't understand.
The second thing I want to say, our boy, the Timo time. Congratulations.
Yep.
They got a boy. They got not a boy, but they got a kid on the way.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So you know what? Not a total loser.
No.
And the other one just bought a house.
Hey, you know what? You
know
guys
what?
are winning the bigger battles.
They won life.
Congratulations.
They won life.
But still,
But
Travis.
you didn't win the pool.
Yeah, you know what, Travis? You know me and you have our little hate with each other when it comes to NCAA. So, I mean, out of courtesy, you should take that money and you should be giving to a student athlete. I'm just saying. But congratulations to Travis. Respect. You won it
First
fair
ever.
and square.
No one will take that away from you.
But speaking of winning fair and square, we jump over to the RLRT first ever Pools Championship. It's Oooold Cousin Jim
Oooold Cousin Jim
versus Paul the Coach DeMakis. And ladies and gentlemen,
Landslide.
in a thriller. I mean, I was watching this one like the stock market. And Oooold Cousin Jim pulled off the win.
He did it.
He did it.
He
He's the
persevered.
champ. He did it.
Put his money where his mouth was.
He
and came out on top.
And now I have to listen to this. Paul, you had one thing to do. One thing, Paul, to win. And now I gotta
it's so
sit
easy,
here.
says
Now
Paul.
I gotta sit here and listen to family dinners for the next year until somebody dethrones the champ.
Paul, you got beat by the TNG Mob Squad, Tasso, for a golden loofah. You got your chance at a golden loofah and you lost it. But old Cousin Jim, let me tell you,
Comes out of nowhere.
congratulations. You can proudly claim and tell people that you are a golden loofah winner.
Boom.
Love it. Congratulations.
Let's do what everyone has been waiting for. Waiting for. It's Quick Pick 6.
Quick pick 6.
Let's do it. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, here we
Okay,
go.
give it to me.
New England -4.5. Cover, don't cover.
Don't cover.
Houston -3. Cover, don't cover.
Don't cover.
New Orleans -8. Cover, don't cover.
Cover.
Seattle -1.5. Cover, don't cover.
Don't cover.
Do you think Real Locker Room Talk will hit the big time in 2020?
Cover.
Will Jeff cut his long blonde hair in 2020?
Long blonde hair. I like that. You just keep talking.
It is long and blonde.
Yes.
Yes? He's going to cut it. That's what I said to you. I got
He's
yes
gonna
too.
cut it.
There it is. Quick Pick 6. By the way, buy your lottery tickets this week.
Yeah.
Over 60 million here in
That guy,
Alberta. Just
that
a little-
$50 million
Wow.
winner finally claimed the ticket. Had
Wow.
the thing since August.
Hey,
Must
I
be
would have been
nice.
walking around
That'd
with
be
that too.
me. I just like
You
leave
would,
it.
eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about this lottery ticket? You know, you see it 6 months later in the pile of receipts.
50 million.
Listen, let's do a little wrestling roundup. Let's change the pace a little bit.
Let's
1
change
minute
it up.
Wrestling roundup.
You give me
Let's
the
get
time
ready.
and I will
Hold
tell you.
on. I got my clock right here. Go.
Look, I have 2 big bones to pick. I'm going to be in and I'm going to be out. Number 1, this whole Lashley, Rusev, Lana, he's hers, he's his,
Yes.
he's here. Guys, it's stupid.
Stop
Get it
it.
over with. It is the dumbest gimmick. Nobody likes it. Why are you continuing with it? Please, for the love of God. And the second thing is, this is like schoolyard. WWE, AEW, come here. Line up. You're both getting slaps on the bum. You're boring. It's not fun to watch. I got nothing to say because I have nothing to see. I have nothing to see. So shape up. Okay? Excite me. You're going the way of the NBA, and the way of the NBA doesn't get airtime.
Wow. You know what? You said you didn't have a lot to say. You went for a while.
I got heated, Mitch.
46.38.
Well,
that's good. You know what? And I agree with everything you said, sir.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, too.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't like saying it too often, but you're right. Damn right. Lana and all that stuff. Get out of here.
Come on.
Like, it's mostly kids. Like, what do they care to watch this?
That's what I'm saying, Mitch. I don't know. All right. It's boring.
From there, we go to everyone's favorite segment. It's Rapid Banter. All right, let's get started here. We talked about it last week. Let's say it's 4th and goal, ball on the 6-yard line. It's Super Bowl. Breeze, Manning, or Brady? Who do you like?
Breeze.
Rapid Banter. Anarchy. Zion, who reports that Zion will miss the entire NBA season. Who cares? Or no, we paid good money to see this.
Is Zion his coach?
Rapid Banter. Records. Some dude ate at Chick-fil-A 114 straight days. What can you do for 114 straight days?
Nothing that's PG.
Rapid Banter. Horse PEDs. Canada's show jumping team has been caught doping and will not attend the Olympics. I don't get it.
I don't,
it's a true statement. I don't know if the horse, like, that's the other thing. If the horse is lathered up with drugs, okay, right? If the horse,
because you lather drugs on a horse.
If the horse is lathered up, then I get it. But
quick,
if it's the
Nigel,
person,
lather the horse.
But my question is, what about the person? Is it the person or the horse that's up?
You know what?
I don't know.
That is a great. I bet you that's a loophole.
Yeah,
Who
I bet
gets
you.
the suspension?
Who gets it?
Nigel, lather the
Because
horse.
the
We want
horse-
to win, damn it.
I just want to know. Never again. 1983, Wayne Gretzky picks up his 100th point in the 34th game of the season. Will anyone ever get close to that record again?
Steph Curry.
Rapid Banter. So true. I never thought of it that way.
Same.
Old news. Scientist learns that humans learned to smile to get sex in prehistoric times. Do you believe that is all that was needed?
Absolutely. Rapid Banter.
What? No club?
So allegedly, Steph Curry had nudes leaked, and the Golden State Warriors said, "No, that's not him." How would they know this information?
Well, maybe they saw the 3-pointer.
Rapid Banter. That's your go-to, the 3-pointer.
You love it.
Buying in bulk. At the Bahama Bowl, you can actually buy beer in bulk. Is this more revolutionary than the forward pass in football?
100%.
Rapid Banter. Buying in bulk. Wow. I got two more, and then
The only way to save money on that stuff.
You got to ask. Reports are coming out that Uncle Dennis, who's Kawhi's uncle, asked the LA Lakers for a private jet to have access to at all times and a piece of ownership. Some are criticizing that it's too much. What say you?
Too little.
Rapid Banter.
Spoken like a true playboy.
So true. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go.
Lather up my jets, Kawhi.
Sometimes you put... Big news. What's more obvious? The sky being blue or Freddie Kitchen of the Cleveland Browns being fired today?
Oh, Freddie Kitchen being fired.
Rapid Banter. Last one. This one literally is my favorite. I have major problem. Put a ring on him. Lindsey Vonn, Olympic skier, and now one of my favorite people, went to social media to say that guys deserve engagement rings as well. What do you think?
I think she's on top of it.
Rapid Banter. There it is. There it is. We got more, but
we
just
get
don't have the
something for
time.
our investment. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, think about it. She went and she goes, guys deserve an engagement ring too.
She's Lindsey Vonn.
So when How
She's
nice would
actually
it
a
be
bigger deal
when I
than
can
him.
go to the bar with you and be like, and you're like, oh my God, is that what I think it is? And I'm like, yeah, it is. She did it.
And why not?
And
Mitch?
why not?
Why did we get cut out of the deal?
What? Well, let's call it even.
I think actually the women should initiate that. They're the ones always asking to get married.
Welcome to
Right? Like,
our life.
how about a proposal?
There.
How about,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsey Vohn's a pioneer.
Pioneer.
I
like what she's doing here.
She'd be an alpioneer.
All right.
She's a skier.
Yeah, she's a skier. I see what you did there.
Alpioneer.
Yeah, I got
Alpines.
you.
Get it?
It's Maga Malaka time. And as we said earlier, look, we're only hours away from 2020 coming about. That means it's a decade, right?
It's a decade.
So what we decided is let's go through the last 10 years of trends, things that happen, and what's Maga, what's Malaka. And I have to say, you're going to be either happy or really disappointed because the last 10 years, maybe not our best stuff.
Mediocre at best.
Mediocre.
In my opinion, the 70s is the benchmark.
I'm hitting the paper on the table. Here we go.
All right, I'm ready.
Let's get ready. Jeff, you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
And Dimitri, you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Can't you hear my party music?
Underhand toss. Give me one. Just
Nice
over
easy
the
one,
plate.
over the top. April 2010, the first iPad was created.
Maga.
Maga.
Who doesn't love it?
It changed it all
There
up.
you go.
Yeah, Maga.
It was the first pad that men could play with.
In September of 2010, the VMA Lady Gaga The Meat Dress showed itself. Maga or Malaka. It was a dress completely made of meat. Lady Gaga.
It was Malaka. It wasn't Wagyu.
It was.
Okay?
It's true. I agree with you.
Show up with
weird.
show up with a quality meat.
Little weird.
Not enough marbling.
Like a lot.
I thought she was auditioning for a gig with Wasp.
Like, well, how do you? Yeah. How do you walk around?
Jeff,
like
you
that?
know how I feel.
This one's gonna kill Jeff. March 2011. The best song you've ever heard. Friday. Over 100 million views and downloads. Rebecca Black. Maga. Remember, it's Friday.
Oh, yeah. See, I already forgotten. Malaka for me.
Malaka.
So I couldn't get into
Over
it.
100 million views. She's sitting wasted on her couch right now going, I created that song.
Yeah. All you had to do is pick a day of the week.
That's it.
She
What's wrong
did
with
it.
Wednesday? It's Wednesday.
Who sang that song? The Friday I'm in Love. The Clash? The Cure.
The Cure.
The Cure.
Yeah,
There we go.
Friday, I'm in love. And then there was Manic Monday.
Yes.
May 2011, planking was the biggest thing. Planking. Remember, you would just like find a surface and be a board on it or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what you
just
do. Maga or Malaka?
You know what? Maga, it is still a great way to utilize your core strength in many different areas, man.
I hear you, but I just still don't understand. Imagine the aliens that day were going to come down and grab us. And they look down, they're like, what are these people doing? What are they doing?
Go back, Nigel. Lather the UFO.
Lather it up. Let's get out of here.
I didn't fully understand the planking craze.
Yeah, no, it's a Malaka for sure. February 2012, let's get to some sports. Linsanity. Linsanity happens, and it took over. It was a 7-game win streak, by the way. That whole Linsanity thing, 2012, 7-game win streak. That's it.
That was in 2012?
That was in 2012.
That's crazy. No, that was Malaka for
That
me.
was Malaka.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
else?
the Gangnam Style guy.
Are you reading my notes?
No.
2012.
Shut
July. Gangnam Style. Maga or Malaka.
man.
You know what's Maga about that song? Some overweight, dumpy, 50-year-old Korean dude bought himself a house on South Beach because he wrote that song.
That's right.
And the world loved it.
You know what? The best was the guy in the
first
elevator. The elevator opens and he's underneath his legs, and the guy's like,
Gangnam Style.
First video ever to hit 1 billion views. First video of all time.
Man. Genius.
Genius. Let's jump to August 2014. The Ice Bucket Challenge took over as well. That was for ALS. So you got to go Maga.
You got to go Maga.
It was a good little
Broad
charity
awareness.
thing. Everyone jumping on that one.
Did you do it?
I can't remember.
I did it. I got
I don't
nominated.
think I did, actually. No. Let's go to February 2015. Racially diverse emojis actually appeared. Prior to that, so 5 years ago, there was no different diverse
There was no
emojis.
brown emojis.
Oh, that's Maga.
That's Maga. I like it.
We waited till 2015.
Till
That's
2015.
kind of sad.
But you know what? You basically had to wait all your life, and I know you were waiting for this. February of 2016, Leonardo DiCaprio won his first Oscar. Maga or Malaka?
First of all, The Revenant is a Maga movie, and so is Leo. It's Maga all the way around. I'm going to watch
he's
that
a
movie
quality
again.
actor for
I'm going to
sure.
watch it again.
We'll go to the second last one.
That was in 2016?
That's correct.
Where does the time
2016
go?
as well. Guess what else was a big thing? And it drove me absolutely bonkers. The Pokemon revolution is where people are running around trying to get pictures of something, which I still don't
I
understand.
stood right in the path of a few of those people.
Absolutely,
Malaka
Malaka.
And finally, it's the last one. It's 2019. It just happened. We got our first ever glimpse of the black hole. Maga or Malaka?
Mitch, see, this is Maga for a couple of reasons. Number one, I love science. And number two, I know what you're doing.
That's it.
I'm not going to take the bait, okay?
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm
We
just
don't have
saying.
enough time. We're
That's it.
59 and 22 seconds. Look, we're keeping it under an hour again, Stan. We listen, Jeff. We listen. This is a new leap we're turning. Look, roster, thank you for being with us. I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone out there.
New Year.
To you and yours.
Happy New Year!
May me bring all the prosperity. But look, help us out like you've always done. Follow us on the channels at Mitch and Dimitri, at Real Locker Room Talk, reallockerroomtalk.com, alchemystudios.ca, adversity.com, and agapegreekradio.com. Until then, Happy New Year from all of us. Episode 107 in the locker for the year.
Done.
And now we hit the showers. There it is. There it is. Ooh.
Lather up the check.
Lather up the showers,
Turn me up.
Mitch and I.
I noticed there's no orange emojis.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to report that this horse has been lathered with steroids.
Listen, man, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about lathering a horse for some reason. I don't know what came from.
What did you do last weekend? Now I lathered up the stallion.
It was a premeditated lathering of
We
steroids.
go now. You come at 7:45.
Give that horse a golden lupa.